Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be finally getting rid of this factory accordion intake junk and doing our first performance mod on the Escalade, so follow along. So I was scrolling on Marketplace like I do all day, every day. Came across this really good deal, S&B Cold Air Intake. We actually tried putting an intake on this already. I got a Cold Air Inductions, which is the brand I would have rather had, but S&B is still pretty good. Anyway, as we were putting the Cold Air Inductions one on, I realized that the truck and the SUV are not the same, even though you would think they are. Apparently the S&B is, so we're gonna install this and get some horsepower out of this thing. So the first thing we're gonna do is take the negative battery cable off, just because we'll be putting the mass airflow sensor on the new one, and we want the computer to kind of relearn. The idle, it probably won't change much, but it's just always recommended to pop that thing off. And then we'll need an 8mm to go ahead and loosen. Let's see here, before we do that, go ahead and pull this little beauty cover off like so. You'll have an 8mm on your throttle body to loosen up, and then also right here. And then get these quick connects off. You just push, pull off. This one's a little bit stuck. There we go. Pull it off just like this. There's this factory junk. So now we're going to take the box off. To do that, we're going to lift up on this red tab on the mass airflow, unplug it, set that aside. We'll need to pull this mass airflow sensor out. It's a Torx. Not sure what size yet. I'll go ahead and grab one and find out, but we're going to pull this box apart. All right, so we pulled off these 3 bolts. The fourth one, just take these 2 trim pieces out so you don't have to take the whole thing off, and you'll have access to get that last bolt like so. Now we can take our lid off. So there's the lid. Filter actually wasn't too dirty. And now this is just a push pin. So you just gotta lift up and it snaps up. And there's the factory airbox out. So now we have to loosen up the coolant reservoir. So loosen this bolt and this one. They're both 10mm, it looks like. So we'll take those out. So I told you guys wrong. It's actually this one and one back here. They're both 10mm. You just kind of need a little bit longer of an extension to get down on this back one. That'll be a nut instead of a bolt. Try and get it out without dropping it. All right, got that out. So now your coolant reservoir can kind of move out of the way. So now we're going to go with the S&B one, but before we do that, we're going to clean this area up just so it's nice and clean. I believe we have to take these bolts out, and we may have to even take this lower piece out. I got to see on the instructions what the S&B recommends, but we're going to look at that now. All right, so S&B actually does recommend taking this factory plate out, so we're going to do that. Just 4 10mm bolts. See if I can get on it. Shorten this thing up. And then I guess it's optional to close this off or not. We're going to open it so we get as much air in there as possible. So this will go down. All right, so we got the box in there. I believe the support bracket is not necessary. I think it said something about if you have HID headlights, You don't need it. Don't know why. It would have gone under here, but I don't see any way where it could even fit. But we got this mounted now. Before we secure the box down, we have to put the coolant reservoir back in. So bring that kind of where it needs to go. And then from there, we should be able to put it on in there. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but have to get your bolt started. So get this started. Get that down where it needs to go. All right, so once you get your box fitted in here, and to do this, I had to take the little support bracket that goes here off, so I had more access to it. And before you secure the box down, go ahead and reinstall your coolant reservoir bolts and nut. So now we can start lining this up and putting the bolts in here. So I got all these bolts tightened. This one in here you can't really get to with an impact, so I'm just tightening it by hand, and then I'm gonna have to put a wrench on it. All right, now we got our intake tube. We went ahead and fitted the 6.2 throttle body adapter. It comes with the 5.3 or the 6.2. We're just gonna mount that just like that. Our filter's gonna come through here, so we may have to wait to do this. We currently have our filter drying, but while we're waiting on that, we can take our mass airflow sensor out. It's a T15 Torx bit. So we'll pop that out. And we just clean this, so you don't have to worry about cleaning it. Well, I don't have to worry about cleaning it. But if you haven't cleaned it in a long time, it'd probably be a good idea. Just use some mass airflow sensor cleaner. Make sure we have the same orientation coming out. So this is facing the grill. This is going to slide in here like this. We'll reuse these screws. All right, so I got the filter all clean and oiled up. It's really not done drying yet. We'll probably just wait a little bit to drive it. But I kind of need to do this so I can get to the next step. So I'll try and show you this. My wife went inside, so I'm trying to do this with one hand. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to go ahead and pop the clamp off. For now, we're going to come on in with the filter. Go in head first, I guess. Pull it back out. And it'll snap out just like that. Then you can rotate this however you want, whatever looks best, I guess. So we got that in there. Now we're able to, all right, so we got our intake tube and we got our mass airflow sensor. I use 632 machine screws. Unfortunately, you can't reuse the factory mass airflow ones, but seemed to mount it pretty good. I had to shorten them a little bit, but they worked out. So now we're going to fit this to the filter and to the intake. I'm just going to loosely put this clamp on and come in here. There we go. Put that on there just like that. That's pretty much all it is. So all we got to do is tighten up these two clamps and the one down here on her filter. Here we go. They're just 10 millimeter hose clamp bolts. I mean 8 millimeter, sorry. So make sure she's that ain't going nowhere. Same thing down here. Make sure it's pushed on all the way. So that's essentially it. Now we have our valve cover breather hoses. One is going to go here. We need to take off our stock breather hoses. You're going to pull them off the same way you pull them off the other side. You just depress this. Go over here to this side, take this one off. See if you guys can see. Just like so. And then we'll see which one goes where. Looks like that. It's going to line up perfect. Just like that. And then you want to try and get at least upright. You don't want this to go like down too smoothly, because the idea is to not get oil coming up from here. Now that is why some people run a catch can for their breathers. I'm probably going to be doing that on my high country, but for this is fine. So I'm going to get a little screwdriver or something that'll fit these screws. So we got our little screwdriver. Loosen this guy up a little bit. It seems like you could put a socket on it. It's probably some real small standard size. I tried 6mm, 7mm, none of those fit. That about finishes the install there. All we got to do is put our little beauty cover over this and replug in our mass airflow sensor. We'll go ahead and do that. And come up here, plug in just like so. Put your red little clip back down. All right, and the last thing we need to do for this install is just put our little lid over top. We're actually gonna have to pop this off again. Use your Phillips head screws. And again, this might fit the trucks better. I'm not really 100% sure. The guy I bought this from did have it on a truck. I just read that it did say it fit the SUVs as well. Pop that last screw in. All right, so all we got to do now is reinstall the negative ground on our battery. Alrighty guys, that is it. That is how easy it is to put on one of these cold air intakes on one of these truck and SUVs. We're going to go ahead and get the first startup and see if we can hear any difference. Sorry about that. On startup, I'm assuming probably won't hear any difference on startup, but we'll go ahead and fire it up. Alright, here it is. No check engine lights, no codes, nothing like that. Ready to gain a couple horsepower. Normally, cold air intakes on this platform get anywhere from 15 to 20 horse. That's what we've seen dyno proven. I think from the factory manufacturer, they recommend about 14, or they say it gains about 14 horsepower. And that's probably about accurate for an average. But especially when you pair this with a tune, these things really shine. So this thing's almost ready to get tuned by Lance down at Powerhouse. We have a couple more performance mods we want to do before we take it down there. But this being the first one, getting some more air in there, breathing better and colder. We should gain a little bit of MPG. We'll gain a lot more once we tune it, of course. And obviously the power. We're going to gain a nice sound upon throttle. We'll take a video in the cabin. I did take a video before I did this. with the stock intake, and somehow I got it deleted or something, but we will get an after of the added sound it adds. All right, we'll see what it does. I'll leave my microphone here and go ahead and give you guys some revs. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. Hopefully you guys liked it. We have a lot more LT performance content coming, especially for this truck here. Got almost everything we need for the cam swap. So we're almost there. We're waiting until it warms up a little bit. We finally got some warmer weather. And as always, guys, don't forget to subscribe, turn the bell notification on for future content because we have a lot more coming.